The San Francisco 49ers, just the relatively healthy San Francisco 49ers, for all intents and purposes, are an absolute mess. They are a total cluster and a mess. And the worst thing about the whole thing, okay, the worst thing is actually that they're not playing good football. Yes, unfortunately, the San Francisco 49ers haven't been and definitely are not playing just good overall football, right? We need to see good football being played. That's a sport, right? That's the game, so they're not doing it. Let's break down a little bit. Let's talk a little bit more in depth. Trouble in Paradise, San Francisco 49ers edition. So first, right off the bat, they're poorly coached. You can tell. I mean, did we not see in the Seahawks game yesterday? It's like not only were the penalties and just the lack of discipline, that's inexcusable. But also, it's just like some of these running plays that Coach Kyle Shanahan, whose dad like invented the zone running scheme, just amazing offensive minds of both of them, just came out flat out lazy play calling, didn't really want it. No inventiveness or creativity whatsoever. So you could tell that his team wasn't having any joy playing the sport, playing the game. Kyle Shanahan doesn't understand the fundamental purpose of a running game. That's the biggest issue. So the running game, not only does it soften up defenses physically, it also gives the running game, if you do like an outside tackle run to inside run to a sweep to a jet right to an end around, they probe different parts of the defense. So you can see what you're working with. You can see, is the left side of the defense a little bit stronger than the right side? Is the right side, you can ascertain those things. But also, a successful running game, and starting with a successful running game, opens up the passing game. The successful running game is the thing that really opens up the passing game. Why? Because when you establish a good running game, then teams need to put linebackers further into the box, safeties into the box, right? And also, you're just looking for the run more, okay? You can trick a player. If somebody's honed in on stopping that running game, they're not as much looking what's about to get behind them, which is hopefully a wide receiver, a tight end, right? It doesn't seem like Kyle Shanahan understands that, like honestly. And you can tell because of how many no-back formations he has. It's like when you have a player like Christian McCaffrey, tight ends like George Kittle and whatnot, playing them in the backfield, what it does is it makes the defense respect and honor your running game, right? And right now, what happens is Kyle Shanahan is doing a lot of like no running backs in the backfield or anything like that, just telegraphing pass. And so then, of course, defenses hone in on just that sole pass, and it's much more difficult to get wide receivers open, especially if you don't have good wide receivers at getting open, right? Deebo Samuel isn't known to be a great wide receiver at getting open. Brandon Ayuk's hurt. Jawan Jennings is a dog, though. But anyways, keeping on to coaching. Coach Nick Sorensen, defensive coordinator, has either lost the defense or he never had them in the first place. Not only do the Niners not tackle well, but Sorensen perennially, he fails to dial up any sort of pressure via a blitz package. I can't believe that I heard yesterday. Is it true that the Niners only blitzed like once or twice? That's like sacrilege. I don't understand. They're not. You need to force players like Geno Smith into making bad decisions, right? Not force players like Geno Smith to have so much time because of lack of pressure that he beats you via a little scrambling touchdown. So the fact that Nick Sorensen was hired is a testament to the power that Kyle Shanahan has over this team, because I don't see any world in which in which Coach Sorensen is retained, right? but there's not going to be, so they will have failed at defensive coordinator and nobody will be held accountable. That's what I mean by Kyle Shanahan. Just nobody holds him accountable. Just fans are in denial. Maybe analysts don't know what to look for in a head coach. People are like looking at Kyle Shanahan like as an offensive coordinator and thinking that equates to a leader of men and a head coach. It almost sickens me as a leader of men myself, because I've been a head coach of many teams, honestly. So it is a little sickening to have people like who maybe have not coached, like look at this guy and be like, he's a good leader of men and coach. Because no, schematics wise, he might understand what an X and O is, but like, are you kidding? As a motivator, that man couldn't motivate me to get out of bed in the morning, y'all. He's not a motivator. Look at him. Listen, I thought that we had a good time. It was a good time. We tried to do this. We tried to do that. It failed. And are you kidding me? You guys, no. Like, seriously, if you're watching this, you can't tell me seriously that you think Kyle Shanahan is any type of leader. He isn't. I'm just going to say that. Sure, he could be a genius. Okay, like a really good offensive football coach, sort of, when he has all the best players, I guess. Denial. I believe that, unfortunately, Niners fans, ownership and whatnot, they're in denial over a head coach whose coaching record is up to a coin flip. He's got like a 500 coaching record. It's sickening because of I believe, like the nepotism and favoritism that goes into Coach Kyle Shanahan. Why he's a coach, why he's still a coach, right? So Coach Nick Sorensen has lost the defense, and unfortunately, the defense is just hung out there to dry. Not because Kyle Shanahan can't keep an offense on the field, and also the defense is hung out to dry because they weren't given a chance with a tried and true defensive coordinator. And when this one invariably, honestly, it's like unless the Niners win the Super Bowl, he's going to get fired. So like when Sorensen invariably gets fired, nobody will be held accountable. Kyle Shanahan, who should be held accountable, it's like his guy, right? It's his guy. It's not my guy. It's not my guy. It's his guy. He won't be held accountable. They'll give him a raise, and then they'll blame it. How about this? This is how insane, this is how interesting and insane the world is. I believe that I will get more flack for saying that Kyle Shanahan is like an average coach, which he is. Maybe he's sort of good. It's pretty much just average. I'll get more flack than he will for failing time after time after time. And that's just how the world goes. It's just funny. It's because when you have a certain level of power, accountability goes completely out the window. Me, myself, it's like if I generally predict scores pretty close, right? I'm really good at that. If I don't, I hold myself accountable and I want to do better. Like Kyle Shanahan lost yesterday. He failed, right? He's a failure. Yesterday he doesn't feel like that today. He doesn't care. That's the issue. He absolutely doesn't care. And I believe that Kyle Shanahan may someday be a Super Bowl winning head coach. I don't think he'll be with the Niners because I think that he's just worn the culture into the ground. Nobody sees that except for me, and that's okay. Can we continue on the coaching? Do the Niners have a special teams coach? Do they? If so, what does that coach actually do? Like when that coach wakes up in the morning, is that coach like, is this Les Schneider or something like that? I'm whatever Schneider, I'm going to go and coach. Or is he like, I'm going to go and collect a paycheck and like undermine a team of like seemingly good men? Wow. To me, the fact that the Niners haven't fired their special teams coach, it's like, this just reeks of some sort of toxic nepotism of some sort. I don't know what's going on in the inner workings, but they're getting bad results, the Niners, and they're not doing anything, and they're expecting better results. Insanity, if you ask me, or if you ask for the definition of insanity. So, but overall, long story short, TLDR, right? You know that the Niners are super poorly coached when they are finding ways to lose Every single time, the Niners find ways to lose. And they sort of remind me of Nick Bosa if you chip him. If anybody chips Nick Bosa, a running back or tight end, in the midsection, you literally see him outwardly grimace and go like this for multiple plays because something's wrong with his midsection and nobody will ever say anything about it. And it's like he's had core surgeries before, like coming out of college, I believe even, and nobody cares. But it is hilarious to see because like the book is definitely out that if you chip Bosa in the midsection, you can see him. He winces every time. But like long story short, it's like the Niners, that's a microcosm. You hit the Niners a little bit and they just wince and they give up. So sad. So sad. So to top it all off, are you all liking those Purdy improv runs? Those like, I'm just going to tell you, that's the worst sign that you could possibly see for a team. Not even kidding. Worst sign ever. Why? Because obviously improvised plays and those scramble plays are not scripted in any way, shape, or form. So if Purdy is doing that, it means that he isn't successfully accessing and using his check down. Brock Purdy, instead of running around, should just check the ball down. There have been, why? Why do you ask me? Why do I want Purdy to just check the dang ball down? I'll tell you why. Because there have been studies that have shown that that's better, that it's more effective. Two more times. Checking the ball down is more effective than scrambling and whatever the heck happens. One more time. Checking the ball down, like Montana, check down to freaking, who do you have? High knees, Craig, right? Anyways, dude, Roger Craig, there you go. Brady check down all the time. Good to great quarterbacks check down. Brock Purdy is scrambling and improvising. Hey, is he day-to-day? Let me know. Is he day-to-day with the sore shoulder because he got hit? How's that scrambling going now? Real quick, how's that scrambling going, Niners fans? Did the Niners produce a lot of offense yesterday? Yeah, is their quarterback really healthy now? Did they even win? Stop it. Stop it. You're all in denial. Man, it's okay. It's okay, honestly. So, in closing, this team, it starts at the top, right? It starts with the coaching. They're not even being coached at all. I mean, I don't know if Kyle Shanahan is actually coaching the team. He says things and he does things. Is he coaching? Here's the crazy thing. This is scary, but I think that the Niners secondary may be worse than it actually appears. And here's a prediction. We'll find out next week when Jordan Love tested if he has Christian Watson back, right? We will find out next week against the Packers. But I feel like if teams take downfield shots against Yidam and Green, that they'll find success. Yidam doesn't have, it's fine. It's whatever. It's fine. And I don't think that they'll have success against Renardo Green, by the way, because Green's poor. I think that they can get some pass interferences off of downfield throws. So to sum it up, look at my YouTube history. I've been saying the Niners were poorly motivated for a long time. Sure. Okay, how about this? Even if they're okay coached, they're poorly motivated for sure. And that comes from coaching as well. So I know. And look, here's one thing. I understand that the fans don't want to hear this, most of them. I understand that the fans want to be in denial, and that's okay. Seriously. It is okay to listen to the things that I'm saying, like borderline facts, darn near scripture, right, at this point, okay? It's okay to look at this facts and be like, I shun away from it because I want to believe. You do that. I'm not even kidding. You do that. You believe in this team. Good for you. Good for you. I wish this team would have proven themselves worthy of my promotion. They haven't, though. So this isn't a team that I can get by. This isn't a team that I can stand behind at all. Am I a Niners fan? Yes. Have I been a Niners fan since friggin' birth? Am I always going to be a Niners fan? 100%. Is this a particular Niners team that I can get by? Am I going to die on the hill of this squad? In no way, shape, or form. Okay? Like, no way, shape, or form. Like Warner and Kittle and McCaffrey. Maybe Jawan Jennings, right? Love those players. It's just, who else is moving you? Who else is moving us, Niners fans? All right, till the next time, we should keep our heads up. This is the the good news, the Niners easily have the most, out of all their matchups, they have a hard schedule up, okay? And still, with that hard schedule, they still have the more talented roster out of almost every single matchup. The Niners should win the majority of the next of their games, and hopefully they can revamp and be okay by playoffs. Hopefully they can actually address some of these issues and not just deny them, and we'll see. Because the Niners should be winning the majority of their games that they have. We'll see if that happens. Thank you so much for stopping by C-Train Station. Of course, I'm C-Train, this is a station, and Niners faithful. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.